Okay, now we have some quiet. Hello, Citizen Sister listeners and viewers. So excited to be here. I can't even tell you. I know you've all been waiting for it. I have with me right here in the flesh the fourth sister, Mr. John Florencio.
Does that mean the oldest will technically hide us? Citizen sister.
Hey. So where are we, Johnny?
Okay, we are in Austria, close to Salzburg, in a ski station called Filzmoos.
Ski City.
It's
yeah.
a ski town.
And a hiking town in the
and
summer.
a hiking town. We love hiking.
Oh my God,
down.
yes, we do. We've
It's
been up and
beautiful
down that
here.
mountain so
I mean,
much.
they say that there's like an energy vortex in the mountain, and I think you and I experienced that at one time. I mean, yeah, so we're in beautiful Austria, and we love it here. As you said, how many years?
13 years
13
we've been
years.
coming here. And the reason we come
We're that
here,
old.
I know. Well, we were only 20 what when we were last year? No, just kidding. The interesting thing about this is that we come here because we're part of this UNICEF family, and Harry Burt Klein, who I will also interview today, incidentally, or we're co-hosting as well today, he brings some of the artists that we have in our winter show for UNICEF Germany to this little town to give a stellar kind of just crazy level
Out of this world.
concert for this tiny
I
little
don't
town.
even have words.
I don't either.
I mean, it is a tiny town. And can you imagine, like, the impact it has on their little
Village.
town?
I don't even think they
I
realize,
mean-
because do you think, I mean, honestly, in your career, and we're going to talk about first of all, John is a piano virtuoso, and I do not say that lightly. I say that
Well,
verklempt.
no, stop.
No.
Please stop. Okay,
No.
wait, finish
Hold
your
on.
thought.
My Sorry, we have too many inside jokes and funnies. The reality is that very few people on this earth, if anyone at all that I personally know, can play piano like this man in front of me. And I really
Okay,
mean that from
you
my soul.
see-
No,
you
I
see,
really mean it.
guys.
I really mean it.
And because we're sisters.
And
also,
we're
so
sisters,
you're
so I can go
biased.
there. No.
I'd say not
I don't
in the world. I mean,
No, in the world that I have
that
actually,
you've worked with.
well,
Yes. Okay.
but no. Hold on. I really, it's not as if, I know I'm gushing now and I'm getting sidetracked from the whole UNICEF story, but more about you. But this is your interview. This is the extraordinary John Florencio. This is what this interview is. And we celebrate people here on Citizen Sister who, I mean, basically, the whole premise of this podcast was that, did I collect spoons on my trip or portraits or art? No, on all the trips around the world. No, I
Well, you
collected
did.
people. I collected people, though, most of all, and relationships. And the funny thing about that is
The
John.
Christmas markets.
Okay, I collected ornaments. That's fair.
Let's be honest.
But
Okay, yeah, so people.
however, you were with me on those journeys, so I didn't have to collect John. John and I both collected people together, actually,
God.
didn't we? I mean, we met people from all walks of life.
We're old.
We are old, but we have toured the world together, quite
Oh
literally.
my God! Wait. So you wanna? Okay,
Let's
so
go
from
through our tours.
Malaysia.
Well, no, let's
to
start from the beginning.
Okay.
We met in San Francisco at a piano bar,
Right.
Octavia Lounge.
No.
Yeah,
Martinez.
no. I met you at Octavia.
Okay, Octavia Lounge, that is
Oscar
San
Peñaranda,
Francisco
friend to the show,
peeps.
who I also interviewed.
Hey, Bay Area peeps, what's up?
Oscar's been on the
Peñaranda,
he's been on the pod, and his sister Frances introduced us.
Right.
And you were going through a lot at the time, and you were like, "Sure, I'll play for you."
Jaded
Like
to
so
the
jaded.
max.
You were way more jaded
But I
then
was younger
than you
than
are
I
now.
am now.
Interesting, no?
Yeah. Well, why is that, you think?
I think that you found. I think. Well, it was life's journey at that time. We've been through jaded moments in our life. You were jaded well. I have to tell you that. It becomes part
That's
of
the
his.
New York. You know,
Yeah,
I can't get rid of it. I'm sorry.
So I just want to backtrack though, because I'm jumping all over in like ADD
That's okay.
style. So I want to, give you a proper interview and not just inside jokes and our memories. And start at the beginning a little bit so they really understand who you are. Yes, we met there. The fascinating thing in my gush about John Florencio is that, yes, I have performed with people all over the world, as has he. But what is very different about his talent specifically is his knowledge of repertoire, absolutely, and his ability to play repertoire from all genres, know them in his brain with zero music and chord sheets, all of that. Yeah, sure, he can use those. He can read music beautifully. But it's being able to play the classical music to the degree that you play it with, and turn around and do rock and roll and musical theater like you were born to do it as well. And so
you.
that's the repertoire part. But
Right.
that does not speak on the part that makes me feel verklempt. It is, I cry a little bit, and let me go there. Please let me go
I
there.
didn't know.
I know.
I'm not weepy either.
Oh, I know,
Right?
but I'm weeping. I am weeping. And I'm just going to say, to have a pianist who breathes with you as an artist, who understands the soul of the music. And I wish it was just that just our chemistry, which we do have. But I've seen you do that with everybody you play for, and you change that breath according to the artist. And that in and of itself is a talent that, we'll go there in a moment, but I can't understand or if fully, because it's not my gift to accompany, but where that comes from, and understanding, especially because you're not a singer. I mean, you can sing, but you're not a singer. And I have noticed that there are pianists who are singers, so they understand that. But it is a separate thing to
Right.
be an accompanist and to feel the nuance of the artist and the music. So let's go there for a moment. Let's go back to your beginnings. Where were you born?
Okay, I was
really
born in the Philippines, in Manila, and I started my early music education at the University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music, which I started when I was 14.
Now, do you
Like
have
a
to
prepper.
audition to go to these schools,
course.
or how does? I don't know
Of course.
Yeah.
I wanted to study with this famous teacher in the Philippines, and I kind of strong-armed my way because I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I was like so arrogant, and I'm like, I want to study with the best teacher. So fast forward, San Francisco Conservatory of Music, we immigrated to the United States on the West Coast. I got accepted to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, which was a little more competitive. So I did all my classical stuff there. I mean, I'm talking 8 to 11 hours a day
Oh my
on the
God.
piano. And
That's
being a young
discipline.
person, I started young in the business, but when I started studying classical music, the more I got serious and the more I got basically educated on how to play. So, fast forward again. No, sorry, same time period while I was at the conservatory.
At Santa
I
Thomas.
have no, at the San Francisco
Wait,
Conservatory.
wait. But back to, how did you end up at San Francisco Conservatory from being in the Philippines? That's a.
Well, it was a time when you had to choose your citizenship because my dad's American.
Oh, right. Okay.
So 17, I came to the States and then auditioned. Yeah, auditioned that same year. My high school, I auditioned. It was very competitive, and I was very happy. So, what do you mean,
Well,
how?
I guess, I didn't
That
actually
was the
realize
time
that
when
was.
we were moving to the
moving.
States.
And
Yeah.
that's no small thing. And I understand that more now that I have spent time in the Philippines as an adult. But looking at that and knowing that you come so solidly from one culture to to go to the States, and I know from being in the Philippines, like the U.S. is this thing, but to have the guts and the self confidence to say, oh yeah, I'm an audition for San Francisco Conservatory.
Right,
I
understand.
know.
Because culturally,
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's the States. Wait, what?
right.
You know,
But then again, I was a
You're
very
you.
determined young man. I wasn't the
you weren't a wallflower about your talent. Yeah.
right. I mean, it's always been out there. So, in a very short period of time that I lived in the Philippines, I developed these connections. And that's where the accompanying started because I started, classical, but I also have the gift of improvisation.
Your ear.
My ear, my ear was trained very well. Excuse me. And then I learned how to transpose. So the transposition
That's
part,
huge.
you play for friends and they're like, "Oh, it's too high." I'm like, "Oh, no problem. I can take it down." So it was something that was
He
natural.
spoiled me with that, by the way, because as a singer, working with him as my first time leaving musical theater and then doing my own stuff, and having John as my first real partnership accompanist, I just thought most accompanists could do that. I was very wrong. I was very wrong.
Strange you say that because I thought that was natural too.
You did as well.
Yeah, until I took keyboard harmony.
Yeah.
Or my musicianship classes. I'm like, oh my gosh, not everyone can transpose. So I kind of capitalized on that. So
Wait,
then
really
the singer,
quick. Sorry,
yeah.
I just have to tell listeners who are not singers and musicians. Transpose means that without changing the sheet music in his head, he can change the key of any song. So if it's too high or too low, John can just change the entire key and accompany as if it's in that key.
And
Sorry.
it's important for me because, like you and I have experienced, sometimes you don't feel well, sometimes you don't have the notes, sometimes you have a cold. So, as an accompanist, first your goal is to assure the singer's well-being.
Yes.
Not just by playing the notes correctly at rehearsal, whatever, but you really look after
The singer.
And ultimately what's going to make them feel good about their singing, transposition. What's going to make them look and sound the most beautiful under the worst circumstances.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Which we have
life
been
on
through.
stage and off stage are different. So I will never bring to a stage, I don't want people to worry about the singers.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I take the responsibility of putting in a little extra and being more sensitive to the breath.
Yes.
You actually have to watch the breath because in conversation, I can feel if you're breathing up here, you're tense. But if you're like, I just got home kind of vibe,
Yeah.
then I can gauge how long I hold the note, how long, which I get a lot in trouble for because you're not supposed to do that, in a scholastic sense. But my goals are different.
Yeah, because it's about the audience and the singer and the truth you're telling in that moment for wherever those people are. And
you forget about technique at that point.
Or what's written. I want to say that is so. It's so refreshing to even have this conversation about that as a performer because the freedom and the trust that I have when I sing with you is that I'm not thinking about what you're doing and worrying that it's not going to be how we rehearsed it or that it's not going to be in my best interest. Whereas sometimes I honestly would prefer a track to a live musician, and I hate saying that out loud because I know what it's going to be. No, but when you've never worked with a pianist and then they're like, oh, we've got someone for you. And that is like shooting in the dark, Whereas when it's you, I just know no matter what happens, you got my back. because you're watching and listening and
Even
breathing with.
if you change a key in the middle of the song, I will follow you.
Exactly. I will follow you.
I remember even back in the Octavia days, Octavia Lounge days in San Francisco, I've always looked after how the singer will feel eventually about their performance.
Yeah.
The audience is easy because they're pleased anyway,
Yeah.
for to have a singer or a pianist, and they get to
Yeah.
enjoy that. But ultimately, in our profession, what's more important to me is that the singer sounds, feels, and looks good on stage.
No
Look good,
tension
yeah.
and no like
tension.
reaching for that note.
Yeah, when I see that happen, I tend to breathe more with the singer and smile, or
Yeah.
you know, just like a friend that you could, that even if you make some mistakes, you skip a measure or a verse.
Yeah, you're like, and
I
we're
will
there.
have to listen.
Yeah.
The advantage stuff of my musical education is that, and also a lot of internal work as a person, is
Yeah.
to be empathic to the needs of your singer.
Yeah.
And to not think about my own notes anymore.
Yeah.
And that takes work. I mean, it's something that, yes, it comes naturally. But like I tell some of my students, it's constant work on the piano.
There's a discipline to it.
Yes, every day. And then you need to take it out there, test it, work it out. And then when you get on stage, you're not so much on the sheet music
Yeah.
as you are to the singer.
Yeah, totally.
And it's true. Now that I'm doing opera, it's even more
Yeah.
sensitive and precise, and you have to listen to, not only listen anyway, because like, you feel the heart
Yeah. Yeah.
of the
Do
singer.
you feel like you are also that in touch with the composer in a way too? Is it the composer and the singer, or is it?
Okay,
know
without
what I mean?
getting woo-woo
Yeah,
about
totally.
it, like for instance, every day I try to play the big pieces, Bach, Beethoven, Chopin. That's just part of my routine.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel Bach has his hand on my
got
shoulder. I mean,
chills.
without getting woo-woo, because I believe that Bach was the voice of God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gushing
No,
on Bach,
no,
but
but I
that's okay.
John, sometimes when we'll go on these hikes and I'll ask him for like, we do old school chismes means gossip in Filipino, and he gives me the chismes on composers in the olden days and like all the
I tell you music history
Yes.
in gossip form.
He's like, and this person had an affair with this person. But the fact that you know all that stuff also probably informs you about what they might have been feeling as they composed that
Right.
music.
and on to contemporary music. It's
Yeah.
the same principle.
Yes.
Some pianists overplay.
Yeah. Because they want to
And
be noticed.
heavy. Yeah. The thing is, you have to disappear. And people should forget. They should just be hearing sounds like orchestra or
Yes.
orchestra and voice. Like this show we did the other night.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
yeah.
we're gonna. I
We're
guess,
jumping all over,
we're
but
jumping,
it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's
No,
just
I
how
like
we
it. That's how we are. So
I didn't realize that it was just piano, and then we had saxophone for a couple of numbers.
yes.
But because of the power of the singers, I felt like I came out of a symphony orchestra performance.
Completely.
Because like it was incredible singing. That hall was filled with like this angelic singing. It's
Oh
like
my
angels were flying out everywhere.
It was. And to just
So
tell the audience.
what was the point of that?
Well, we were just talking about, I mean, who knows? Oh, no, the composers. You were talking about the composers.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that-
yeah.
And that you were, but I just want to say that show is a testament to your talent. So we had gospel singers, soul singers. We had, I mean, I
Oh
sang
my God.
Edith Piaf. We had Adriana Hicks is a Broadway star right now in Some Like It
Yeah,
Hot.
Maria.
Oh my gosh, we have these prodigy kids.
You should get her on the show.
I would love to. She played the cello and sang, but she also played.
Oh, Kathleen. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
Genius.
yeah, genius.
Genius.
We had Tina Turner, Christina Love sang. She's the OG Tina Turner. Wait, I mean, the reason
She
I
just
named
finished her West End
debut
yeah.
run, and the reason I'm name dropping, so to speak, isn't
Oh wait,
because
let me
of
pick
that.
up some names here. You
Yeah, I know,
dropped some
right?
names.
No, but it's not
But,
that. It's
can we get the vacuum cleaner?
it's more so that to say that you played for every genre. There's and an opera singer, Ricardo, who we just interviewed for the pod, and it's to say that to play opera, jazz, soul, Broadway in one show, it is insane. And for this little town to have that caliber of talent is also insane. I don't see shows like that in the States. I mean, you just don't. It's
unique. I mean,
it's so
really,
unique.
I'm sure your audiences know like what we do in. Have you spoken to UNICEF people about?
No, not yet. This
Oh,
is our
okay.
first UNICEF.
So yeah, I mean, maybe in future episodes you should talk about what our charity work is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've
But
done
then
a lot,
it's
by the
not
way, the
just
two of us.
internationally, but like this particular group that we do twice a year in
Yeah.
Germany, Austria, brings all these talents from
Globally.
I mean, like they're not necessarily big names, but big names in their
Yes.
domain.
And sometimes big names.
I mean, like
It just
yeah. I mean,
depends.
we've got. Sorry, I forget. We have Adriana, who's like
A Broadway star.
Broadway star. West End stars. You've done the West End.
Yeah.
Like there's a resume
For each and
know.
every artist.
and they're fantastic. And why am I saying this again? I
This
have
is how we do.
early
No,
signs.
no, you don't. No, we're saying it because we're saying this is what's special about this.
Right.
these shows.
I enjoy tremendously those like genres. Like
Yeah.
you transition from like gospel to like opera.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes almost an actor's work. I learned that from
Totally.
you guys. So you kind of imagine where you are in the scene
Yes. Yes.
before you start. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play for Ricardo, opera singer. My mind goes to the Metropolitan Opera. How will it sound? How will
Yeah.
it sound on that stage? So, and then you've got rhythm and blues. You've got the pop, which I love, by the way. It's important because I love all genres of music.
So okay, so now that I mean, of course,
I
we're
mean,
skipping
I'm
around, but
blessed
after
to have.
what made you not go in the concert pianist track?
Well,
Because you could have, and you know that.
I
You
was
still-
asked before my sophomore year in college, when you're like
Yeah,
18,
yeah, yeah.
19, are you willing to do the work, meaning 8, 11 hours a day, and not socializing, living a reclusive life?
etc. Yeah.
And I said no. And it was a big decision, And I'm glad I made that decision
Me
because
too.
as a young person at the conservatory, we all aimed for that number one spot.
Yeah.
But that spot was already taken, like, even before
You all got there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really elite group
Mm-hmm.
of top level, and they're already there.
Yeah.
So
And there's
I
no
said,
space
how
for
can
variety.
I serve?
Yeah.
And there's no space for variety. They're part of a machine,
Yes.
right? I mean, you got to play what your audience wants to hear, or the management wants to hear, etc. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
No.
No, but what I love about my work right now is that, again, that flexibility of playing all these genres and loving what you play.
Yes.
It's more important, and I'm honest to singers sometimes. I'm like, I don't like this song because A, B, C. It has to mean something,
Yes.
and the singer, pianist vibe should be there. You have to agree
Yeah.
on what feels good, what sounds good, what sounds right.
Yes.
So the secret to being a supporting artist like me, again, is to have all the information available to the singer,
Yeah.
that you can count on me to be there regardless. One time,
Say it.
do we have time?
Yeah, of course. We have all the
We
time.
were jet lagged. We were coming from
You
the
and me.
tour, yeah, from like an exhaustive tour. We were
We have been
sleeping
through
on
so much, the two of us, and we'll get into that. But go on.
before
yeah, this is
lounge
a little-
privileges. We were sleeping on airport floors.
Before lounge privileges.
You
first
were
of
all like covered in like
we
black.
have. let's just go through the cities. We've had Russia, Malaysia. We've had
Kuala Lumpur, Moscow,
Kuala Lumpur, Moscow. We've had
Paris.
Oh yes, Paris. Oh, that's a whole. We even did a musical in Paris. That was so
all
good.
over the United States,
all
right?
over Carnegie Hall. The two of us.
2009. Oh my God!
Christ,
Hey,
my
shout out to my bandmates.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. And we've done Texas,
Virginia,
St. Louis, New York.
New Jersey,
Seattle,
Boston,
San
Florida.
Francisco. Oh my God, we've really gone there. I mean, God,
Yeah.
China, we forgot about
Beijing.
think
Oh my
we're-
God! So can you tell the
Beijing.
story?
Oh my God, Beijing. I mean, this
Just
is like,
quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the gig,
After the gig,
we're
first
like,
of
we have
all,
wads of cash, right?
it was their opening of their first 5-star Hilton in Beijing,
Yeah,
and we were the
in
part of the
Wangfujing
opening
district.
ceremonies, which was a really big deal. And we were like, yeah, and fancy hotel, and they're like, oh, the pool's closed over here because on the top level because they didn't get permits for this and that. It was just like really, I don't even know. It was just sort of a really surreal experience being there. And anyway, we're like, the guy, after we did our gig and everything, and we sang the Jesus out of everything, it was awesome. Then he's like, you need to get paid? I'm like, yes. I mean, I'm not going to do the accent because it is what it is. But he took me down to a basement where there are all these workers in the bottom of this hotel. And he's just like, how much we say? I'm like, I don't remember. And I was like looking it up. He just starts counting out cash in American dollars.
And
I'm like,
here's
okay.
Here's the invoice.
I'm like, yeah. And then so I go to John's room and I'm like, they just gave me all this cash.
All
And
this cash. It's like,
we're just like,
whoa.
we're rolling in the money.
No, what I'm talking about, like,
I
and then
know,
we went,
I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Tell the
So
audience.
then they
It's so
gave
funny.
us this like
Tour.
Jack. Jack was our driver.
The driver, yes.
His name
Okay.
was Jack. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what his Chinese name was, but his name for the day with us was
Was
Jack.
Jack,
And
yeah.
we wanted an authentic Chinese meal.
Right.
And we're like, okay, Jack, take us to a meal. What we didn't know, and at least this is our experience, so please, no one come after us. This is just our experience in China.
Right.
We didn't
We don't
know
want- yeah.
that the tourism over there is its own business, and they are all connected. And Jack was going to take us to a restaurant where he'd get a kickback or whatever.
Wait, was this before the cable car? No,
This
before
is
the cable
before
car.
the cable car. Before Jack fell in love with us and felt guilty for swindling us a little
So we
bit.
wanted to see the Great Wall.
Oh yeah, well yes, but we wanted that meal. It was the meal.
Oh, the meal. Yeah,
the
okay.
meal
So
is
we
the
were
whole
taken
story.
to the Olympic Village where they
Yes,
they
and he
had-
goes, "This is the best meal." Da, da, da. And well, things were so dirt cheap there, so we're like, "Let's order every dish and get a variety." It's just the two of us. They brought out.
No, wait. You said to the waiter. No, the waiter said, "You like some chicken?" I'm like, "Yeah, that would be great." You want fish?
Yeah.
So we rice, noodles. I'm
we're
thinking.
We're thinking it's $100 meal because
No,
the dollar
like
goes
like
far.
a typical.
Oh yeah.
you
Just
know,
little bits and bobs.
It arrives.
It's a feast for 30
30
people.
people.
It was like a spread, and we're like, we didn't know how to send anything back. And we're like, asked Jack to eat with us.
I hate seeing food in
Oh my
massive
God.
amounts.
It was a fish. The
So
full
that
fish.
was I had a meltdown.
You did, but we couldn't. We were laughing too hard. Thank God for humor
Yes,
that
for
time.
humor.
We
Then
were crying. So we were
luckily
like
we
the
had.
bill.
Sorry, okay, but we'll go back to the subject. But it's a funny story.
The bill came.
It was
and
like
we're trying to like do
$400.
we're trying to do the math.
The math.
And we're not math people. We're artists. I'm like, well, if
So
you divide and carry the one,
Yeah,
is that this?
it's
Wait,
sad.
if we calculate, is it $50? And he's like, no, I think that's
No, 500.
500. I'm like, no.
No, it's impossible. I'm like, yes. Did you see all that food? Yeah, that's
I'm like,
500.
no. And
I
then
was right. And
you
I
were
was
right in
right.
the end. It was all our money went to that meal. We were still in the taxi going, or in Jack's car going, wait, no, we
Processing
did it
it.
wrong. We did
did
it
it
wrong.
wrong.
No, wait, let me count the money I have left over. We kept calculating.
That was an expensive day because,
That was, 'cause we
the
also-
Great Wall, which was a great experience. You gotta go and
Oh, that
see
was
the Great
really
Wall. I still have photos.
We ended, yeah, I saw photos of
You're
us like,
like, Okay, back to the subject.
sorry.
Sorry.
But it was just so funny because in the end, all
No,
that
so
cash
the
went to
point-
the Chinese meal.
The point is, before we
Many
got
cities.
derailed,
Many cities.
cities in the Philippines we have charity work also.
Oh yes,
in the
lots of
Philippines.
charity work. We've done our time. I mean, we have, and that's one thing I want young people, especially who listen to this, to understand. And it's something that you said that also Ricardo said in our interview, and it's a through line. And the youth, to all the youth and people who are working hard for careers in any industry. You see people, because we have such an instant noodles society of social media, you think that people just made it in any business, in any artistic endeavor, like that John just can play that way because he's so naturally talented. Yes, that's true. But the discipline and the
It's
journey,
every day.
it is doing all those gigs in our youth. All those gigs, they were
I don't think
painful.
physically I can do what
That
we
now
did.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I
We
feel
did it with
like-
no sleep. We woke up at 4 a.m. to
catch
catch
flights.
flights.
Yeah.
We were sleeping
Oh,
in
wait,
people's
remember?
houses.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, say
We
it.
were coming from Malaysia.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Oh, yeah,
from
between-
Moscow. From Moscow.
From
right.
Moscow, and then we had to touch down
In Los Angeles.
and then go straight to Malaysia.
And I left my car in Los Angeles, went back to Ted's house, our producer then.
Oh my God.
Just enough time for me to go to Chino Hills, to go to my cousins in Chino Hills to say hello, and really just to change clothes.
Yeah,
So
and get your summer
I go
clothes
back
from
to
the winter
get
clothes.
you,
Yes.
and I said, "Excuse me, just one
We're-
second."
No, Ted's like, get in the car. We're going to be late for the flight. And this is after a whole fiasco, by the way. That
The Russian
the
air
Russian.
ride
We'll get
and
into
the
the
tears.
Aeroflot.
Oh my God.
Oh God, that was a whole thing. We'll get into it, but or we might not on
We
this
might not.
podcast.
No,
we'll do
no,
it in
we
another
only
one.
have limited
We'll do a
time.
memories one.
Yeah.
But he's like, wait, you guys, hold on 1 second. He's like, hold on. And he goes, okay, I'll stop the car. He stops the car. And John's like, 1 second, opens the door. He's like, he threw up. And he's like, okay, I'm good.
Wiped myself over, like, let's go. The show must go on. We have a flight to catch. Okay, so let's
We
get
go to
back.
Malaysia.
We go to Malaysia.
Oh my God, that was so. It was like going from extreme cold to extreme
extreme
tropical
hot.
climate.
Yeah.
I mean, that was already our second trip to Malaysia.
Yeah,
I think
but
that was
we
when
muscled through that.
we muscled through it all. And like you said, I don't think I could do it now, but that was our learning curve. That was what you have to do. You know, that's
the work.
that's the work.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that work. You know, and honestly, how this whole UNICEF thing came to be, and this is again another message for our youth, is I got this gig to come to UNICEF Germany. They had never really brought in anyone from the States, actually from the States, not like somebody living in Germany already.
Yeah, the Euro Americans. Yeah.
They usually would just get somebody who's living here and then put them in the show,
Right.
for example. That was sort of the beginning of them bringing people over, or I was the beginning of that, let's just say. And I told John about the gig, and he wasn't in the roster to do the gig, but I'm like, please just play
It
for
will
me.
make me feel more.
I was like, it'll make me feel comfortable, but also I know if they hear us, it'll be us. I just knew it in my soul.
But
What?
what we didn't know is they're already like
Yeah, there was already a
organized.
pianist.
Yeah,
there was
like,
already everything, but I
Yeah.
wanted more people.
Yeah.
And I knew that as long as we didn't ask for anything extra, he paid his own hotel. He
Absolutely.
didn't get paid for the gig, but in seconds, Harry Bert fell in love with us.
That's magic.
And he understood in a very short amount of time that he recognized in you that you were versatile in just that short amount of time. And the next year, even just hearing you do that one part, just Cologne, not even Hilden,
Right.
he's like, bring your friend back from Paris. Actually, the first time it was you represented the Philippines and I was America. The second time we came back, you represented France and I was from the Philippines. Do you remember? It's like we have
felt like
sashes.
imposters.
Yeah, we're like,
You were found out because he didn't speak Tagalog. You remember?
Yes.
You're like, I'm from the Philippines.
I
you
know.
like-
We were
So I
representing
had to
whatever
cover
we
you
did.
so much.
Oh my
Anyway,
God,
so
that's
what
a
we
whole
were,
weird
yeah, sorry,
digress.
okay.
But so
The point being the discipline.
the discipline and being ready at any moment to represent something and to get the
Oh,
gig.
honey, you got to be quick.
Yeah, and now here we are 13 years later
Mm-hmm.
because of that one moment of saying, hey, John, will you take a chance? And we've had many let's just take a chance moments.
They don't
believe
all
me.
work.
No, they don't.
Let me tell you.
They don't, Hunter. But it's the point, I mean, and I'm curious and I want to ask you,
Sure.
if you had advice to our younger listeners, or people, not even younger listeners, just people in the industry.
Oh, in the
What is the
industry.
advice
Okay.
about that kind of thing? About just the trajectory of a career. So,
Never give up.
really?
Never give up. If you feel this burning desire in your soul to continue in your trajectory of being an artist, like in my case, music saved my life many times. You know, and I'm lucky that, you know, I stayed on this trajectory, however hard it was, physically, emotionally, you get rejected. Do not give up.
Yeah.
Who was it that said you're only one job away from getting what you want
At all
at
times.
all times?
Yeah.
Because you never know who's out there, who's gonna get touched by your performance, your, you know, the thing that we do. There's no point in giving up, really. You know, it's like
It's who you
only have to go forward. Yeah, you take the failures, you take the rejection, but keep working. Keep working at it. The work is lifetime anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be playing piano till the fingers can. You
Yeah.
know, some singers sing in their 90s still.
Yeah.
You know, so never give up on your dreams and be strong.
Yeah. And discipline.
Know who you are
Yeah.
and don't let people decide what's good for you or dictate your decisions artistically or in life.
Yeah.
Is that to find your own person. Not, I mean, and it's a lot of work, you know, a lot of internal psychological work. You know, if you need psychotherapy or you need someone
Yeah. Take care of the inside.
of the inside, you know, and then we take care of the outside, then we go shopping.
Yes, exactly.
How much fun am I to go
Oh
shopping?
my God,
with?
he's the best.
Okay,
Go
so
shopping
yeah,
with
that was
you
the
and
answer.
Tobin. Whew.
Yeah,
But
I know, right?
It's so true.
The enablers.
You are an
Like, those
enabler of my
earrings are
shopping.
cute. Anyway, so
But-
bref, that's what I want to say to the younger generation. If you have this burning in your stomach, in your belly, you have the
Yes.
fire in your belly, do not give up. Keep working. And to live also.
Yes.
You know, we're lucky, you know,
We're very
in
lucky.
this business that we get to do both.
Yeah.
The hard work, and then we go out, have a good meal, we have conversations, and then the cycle repeats, and then the next city.
Yeah.
Oh, be Okay, wait. Travel light.
Travel light. That's good advice. That's very
Travel
good advice.
light.
Yeah.
As a touring musician, you learn how to travel light because you're schlepping all the time.
Yeah.
Have you learned that lesson?
Yeah. I mean, once you start,
Dude,
it's hard because I like my outfits and I love my fashion.
Your shoes.
In my shoes. But I also want to say, with all of
Persevere.
that, perseverance is so important. And also just, because our podcast is all about, being a global citizen and what that means. And not everyone who's listening is a musician or an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like everything that you're saying is also true for our grander audience. And the fact that you come from the Philippines, but you lived in the States and now you live in France, and that you and now you're starting this company,
This opera company with Ricardo. You should.
with Ricardo
I'm getting
Tamura.
Ricardo
I
Tamura,
would love
so-
this. But he is starting
Italy.
this in Tremonto, Italy.
Taranto.
No, Taranto.
Taranto.
Taranto, Italy.
No, Taranto.
Taranto.
Good.
Sorry, Italy. But that's what I mean. You're going where the doors are open, and you're
Right.
reinventing different.
If
parts.
this door is closed, try the next door. It might be open.
Yeah.
Often it's open.
Yes.
Okay. We don't know what's behind it,
Yeah.
but often, you go in there and you find like it's Narnia in there.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think the other thing I love about you, John, very similarly to me, is you have such a natural curiosity about people and life that it gets you. It keeps you open to the moment of who's that? Oh, what's this? And it keeps you open to these conversations with
it
people from
keeps
all
me-
walks of life.
It keeps me from doing this.
Yes.
Right.
I've got a story. I have to say this story. We were in Russia at this hotel, and I turned the corner, and John's talking to the guy who's taking our
Having
luggage upstairs.
leftover
and he's like,
Dunkaroos.
and he goes, well, wait a minute. He goes, we're exchanging numbers, and this young guy, he wants to come to San Francisco. I'm like, oh, he should. Next thing I know, John's like, he might want to stay with me in San Francisco, and he might need a visa. And I'm like, John, you're giving too much. I'm like,
I was young.
No, but what I mean is, you were so curious about this guy carrying your luggage. Like
I
you
mean,
were
even
so.
here, I'm just curious about people.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the
that's
next thing I know, he knows this guy's dream is to swim to Alcatraz from San Francisco, and we both.
and many more.
We both have that. We both have just met. I'm like, okay, let's go to the bakery and visit this person, and I brought a gift for this person, and I love that we have that in common because it makes us great travel buddies. Because I like to also meet a lot of people, even though technically we're both introverts. I know this to be true, but we are very extroverted in a certain way.
That's actually typical of.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
introverts, Yeah. One
So-
time you could be like, like a mouse on crack,
Yes.
and then like Greta Garbo.
Exactly. Exactly. So we have some questions that I ask every person that I interview, and we're about to get to them. And I'm going to go there because I do have time. So before we get to those questions,
Right.
and this is one. So in life and as an artist or as a being on this earth, a citizen of the earth and the globe, there are few things that all human beings have to go through in life, and it's it's being born, it's pain, it's joy, all these things that just connect us as human beings. And I want to talk about the word legacy because recently we have lost a lot of people in our lives, and having this long relationship, you and I, of what is it, almost 20 years?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And we've lost friends. We lost Eric Reed.
My parents.
Yes, your parents. And I want to talk about that because not everyone gets to be a star. And by star, I mean not everyone gets to be Madonna or Barbra
Mariah,
Streisand or famous concert pianist, fill in the blank.
You, Joanne.
Yeah. And
Why does she dress like that?
I don't
Anyway,
know. But and you recently lost your mom, and may her soul rest in peace.
Oh,
and she
my
was a
God.
strong, incredible human. And I was thinking about this today when I knew that we were going to do this sit down. And it's so weird to interview a really dear friend because I know so much about them. But I was thinking about that and thinking about the simplicity of my mother, and who's still here, and your mom who's moved on, and that they are just hardworking, beautiful souls that have graced this earth. And that we get to be on a stage and we get to do all this stuff. And I was thinking about that word legacy, and that you are your mother's legacy. But what does that word mean to you when you think of yourself or her, or what has grief taught you in this time? Because I think this is such a poignant thing for our audience. Everyone in this world can relate to this, and I know you have a deep wisdom there.
I had an extraordinary relationship with Mom. Like, I felt like we lived our best lives together, in the Philippines, to the States, and then when I moved to Paris, I assured her happiness. I mean, okay, after college, I went through a really rough time with drugs in New York City. So I was working at a downtown theater, doing great job. We were opening soon. And, as a young person, you go through stuff. So that turned out to be a 5-year period of heavy drug use in New York. I mean,
that's honest, yeah.
I have no shame about it.
No.
It's something that I have to go through.
Well, look at you now. Yeah, so it's...
But then legacy is, for me, it's funny because the other night I was looking at my mom's photo, and there's the date of birth, November 13, 1947 to November 2nd, 2022. And those 2 days have a dash. So that dash is the legacy. Are you verklempt?
I am. I'm verklempt. No, I'm verklempt because one of Eric Reed's very best friends, Jaquel, said he's the dash. He's not the dates. She said that, so I just got chills.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, me too. But that's the legacy. It's like what happened, and the special thing about Mom, is that in that dash, I was in there a lot, and like I told you, when I see pictures of my mom, they actually talk because you remember in your heart the conversations before and after the photos.
Yes.
And in a way, I still hear her voice, and I will hear her voice forever. It's in your heart, it's in your mind, it's in your DNA.
Yeah.
So what is the legacy is you take everything that you've learned from your parents, your ancestors, your elders. Take the best parts, get rid of the
shaky
bad
stuff,
part, the shaky stuff, and run with it. That's legacy. That's how you will create. And we will never know anyway our real legacy until we're passed, right?
That's it.
Like we passed on. So every day is work to, it is work to establish that legacy.
Yes.
In our case, is how to make people happy, bringing art to different parts of the world, like, small town like Phil's Mills. But how cute is it here?
I love it here.
Yeah, but the point is, you cannot just stay in the practice room.
Yeah.
You cannot be a prophet in your own land.
Oh, God, that's beautiful.
You have to go out there and spread the word of love and truth and frustration, sadness, everything that art encompasses. That's legacy for me, is that if you put your heart in something, you'll be remembered as such, as a loving person.
Yeah.
That's legacy. And that's all in that little dash.
And that's all in that little dash. Ah, I love it.
Hercules.
So-
No, but yeah, you put me in this like this
No,
this
it's-
state of mom.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, knowing how close how close we were. I mean,
So
we're on the phone like she's my best girlfriend.
Yeah. Chit chat, chit chat.
Chit chat, I swear to you,
Yeah,
you've seen
I
it,
know.
So when she left, I was like, who do I talk to now?
Me.
Yeah, no, and
no,
then,
for real, I get it.
then
I get it.
God fills in
Yes.
those voids.
Yes.
Like I told you the other day, I was out there just looking at the mountain. I swear, Steph, I heard my mom's. I don't know. It was raining, and I thought of a rain song in
Yeah.
Filipino,
Yeah.
and I heard my mom's voice.
Oh.
And then the tears, of course, start
Yeah.
flowing. And I'm like, I could hear your voice, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you here? And of course she's here in my heart.
Yeah.
But then it's so wonderful. She had an amazing dash.
Yes.
And I got to be a part of that dash. It was so, like
Yes,
dates.
yes.
The dash
Dash.
is this
Yeah.
small. Because it's so short.
It's so short. I mean,
There's
we're
like
just
nano
guaranteed
information in every
little part of that
of
dash.
that dash. So
That is so beautiful, John.
Does that
It makes
answer
me-
your
yes,
question?
it does. And that,
Sorry, we got all like.
I know we got it,
we
but
got
we're
it
gonna
all, like-
segue into our citizen sister questions now.
Okay.
And special treat is we're gonna have a little bit of music. I don't know if it'll make it onto the pod, but it'll definitely make it onto the YouTube channel. So, but let's ask the questions. So, first question is, what's your favorite place to live in the world?
Okay.
And you don't. It's a fire round, so you don't have to.
I really love Paris.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in Paris for 15 years.
Wow.
Can you
I
imagine?
can't.
When
What?
did
That's so
we
crazy.
do Paris? The
God,
first show in
I
Paris.
think at least
And then
18
before
years.
we brought the show,
17 years ago then. Because it was like 2 years before.
Okay. So
or
yeah,
16.
so Paris because of the vibrant art scene.
Yeah.
Like I can walk to see the Mona Lisa. If I want to see a Degas painting
Yeah.
or Modigliani,
Yeah, you can.
I can.
Oh, good, you're so good. Yeah,
So Paris.
Paris. Okay,
However, it's so expensive.
I know. But that's your heart's place is Paris.
But it's when I'm there, it's like I've got everything I need here. I've got
And
my
you love it.
piano. But then again, favorite place. What is home for you?
yeah.
Let me turn the tables.
Yeah.
For me, because we have many. I'm at
Yeah,
home.
you're home everywhere. Yeah.
I'm at home
But
everywhere,
live,
and then I
to live.
realized that home is just a concept in your mind.
Yeah,
That home is actually a person.
yeah.
Like my partner Fred, we've been together for 15 years.
Oh, I love Fred.
We can be in Iriga City, Camarines Sur, Philippines, and we
But-
can make a home.
Yeah, yeah.
It's home. You're with your home. You travel with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
home.
yeah. I mean, that comes from being a global citizen, if you will.
Yeah, and plus Fred was a former flight attendant, so for him this is
Also
normal.
Yes, yes. And
it's
you
normal
are
to
home
not
now.
have a home. Okay, home base being Paris, right?
Yes, yes.
And now my business in Italy.
And you
Fred
have
has a
little
country
home.
home,
Yes,
and my little home in the Philippines.
yes. So home is where.
so home is a person.
but not home. But to live, your favorite place is
Paris.
Okay. So fire round. Fire
New
round.
York,
sorry.
well, yeah, New York. New York was like too much.
Yeah,
Los
I-
Angeles was too much traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, we're good.
voila.
We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay. So favorite food.
How are you doing on
No,
time?
we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. Favorite food.
Filipino.
Just any Filipino food.
Filipino.
Any dish specific that you're like.
Outside of adobo,
Yeah.
laing.
Oh, I love laing is a dish with taro leaves, incidentally, from our region. My mom's from Bicol also,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where John's family's from as well. Naga, we're
We're the
where am
only
I?
region.
no.
Bicol region. Okay, if you look at the map, is the southern tip of the main island. That's the only region where you eat spicy.
food
Yeah,
with
because
coconut milk. Yeah.
people think that Filipino food is spicy. It's not.
It's not at all.
It's
Only
only-
Bicol.
So
right?
now we have the gene. Oh my God, we eat like hot.
We
hot,
do.
hot, hot
I was
sauce.
sweating
I
last
love
night.
that powder.
I know the
this
powder and
morning.
the, I know.
Can we
it's so
score
good.
some of that?
I think we need to.
you
By
help me
powder,
out?
we mean pepper.
Yeah,
Just to be
pepper.
clear.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like we love hot food. What are we talking about? Hot food?
Because I asked you what
Well,
your favorite
favorite food.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah,
go
speed
on.
round.
So okay, and now this I don't know why this stops people up, but what is an extraordinary thing that you find ordinary?
Traveling.
That's true. It's just a
Traveling
normal thing,
business.
and yes.
I forget sometimes how blessed we are when I'm like flying from,
Yeah.
let's say, Paris to San Francisco, and I'm like champagned out. I don't drink anymore, but like you know, like
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're like this. Oh, see you in San Francisco.
Yep,
You know.
yep. Okay,
It's-
traveling
it's
is
ordinary
perfect.
for me
Yeah,
because, I
you do
mean,
it so much,
So much.
and yet
yeah.
you hear on like
But
I
because it's a big
yeah.
deal for certain
It
people.
is. No, I just
I've
listened to
known
a
people
podcast
in
this
Brooklyn
morning.
who've never been to the city.
Yeah, exactly.
I
exactly.
mean, yeah. So
Yeah,
to answer your
traveling.
question,
Travel. Okay, what is an ordinary thing that you find extraordinary?
oh my God, this is a Sondheim song.
Right?
What's hard is simple. What's
simple is-
natural?
yeah. Yeah, just something
right.
like so.
Oh.
Yeah, think. I mean, do you want an example of what?
Oh, no.
Okay, you know. I
What's
love John.
extra? Wait, what's
Something
ordinary?
ordinary that you find so extraordinary.
Excel sheets.
There you go. Yes.
I mean, I so admire people who can do Excel
I
sheets.
can't.
I can't.
I can't.
How do you change the dates?
Yeah.
And like
Oh
the
my
values?
God.
The-
I
the people are
can't. I
like, put
can't.
that in Excel. I'm
That's
like,
so Yuki, you know.
that's Yuki's wife, Yuki. Hey! Yeah, but like like things that are mundane, I find extraordinary. Which
Yeah.
anyone can whistle
Yeah.
any old day.
And yet they think that you playing the
It's
piano
anyone
is
can
extraordinary.
whistle.
You're like, but that
But
spreadsheet.
snatch-
Oh my God.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, or fast typing or two-handed
Yeah.
texting. You are two-hander.
I'm a two-hander.
Yeah, I'm old school. I'm like, you
You're
know.
the-
But like, I find those mundane things extraordinary because like
Yeah.
it's almost like an idiot savant. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know.
What you don't know.
Yeah, like gardening.
Yeah. Totally.
Gardening is like extraordinary to me. You're eating fruits off your garden,
Yeah.
but I don't know how.
Yeah, totally. It was extraordinary to me to have a kitchen. Or to have a closet where all my things just live there for permanent. I'm like,
or a butcher's block.
yeah. Or like like when you came to visit me on Baybridge, wasn't it weird to see me living like that? Like when
I
you
know
first-
you're all like flowing down, but again,
Kitchen,
that's
home.
extraordinary.
Totally,
That
totally.
that is natural to you.
to others.
Remember
yeah.
when I visited you at Annie Carmona's, and,
my
and,
God.
you, and then her backyard had the
Eiffel Tower, yeah.
And she walks full on makeup, the hair, the flowing dress. Hi, I'm like, oh my God. So that's extraordinary that we find ordinary.
Okay.
And we're so blessed
We're
to have
so blessed to have those experiences. Okay, last question, and
Yes.
that's my favorite one. What makes somebody a citizen of the world?
that. Streetwise. You gotta be streetwise.
Wow.
Because you can be in Mumbai or New York. If you're not streetwise, you can't be a citizen of the world.
Wow. That's the
Streetwise
first
meaning
timer
you
I've
don't
heard
want
that.
to. You don't want people taking advantage of you on the road. You got to learn.
But you also have to be
how-
with the people.
I've made my mistakes, yes, China included. I said, don't look at their eyes. Just keep
Yeah, because
walking.
they
No
kept
eye
trying to push us
contact.
to buy stuff, and we were like
and
so
they
overwhelmed.
price it so high.
Yeah.
But so street smarts.
Street smart.
Street smarts know where your wallet is.
Yes.
Do not leave valuables in your hotel room or your gym locker.
Yeah.
I
But
lost
also be able to be bro down with the people.
to bro
people.
down with the actual people
Yeah.
and not just stay in your hotel.
Oh my God, yes. Melissa.
There's some. Melissa is a
She likes to stay in her hotel room. It's true.
Yeah, but if there's a mountain this beautiful,
Climb
you
the
gotta
mountain.
climb
the mount.
climb that mountain,
Yeah.
and at the end, at the top,
Yeah.
you will see the view
Don't
from the
yes.
top.
Citizen Sister listeners, this is the
Yo!
extraordinary John Florencio. We're gonna
I
go to the
love
piano.
your show.
Thank you,
Oh my
we
god,
love
I
you.
saw the one. Anyway, yeah.
You're gonna have fans from this. I'm gonna tell you right now, and especially when they hear you play, we're gonna do a little
What should
something
we
at the
play?
piano. It'll be a surprise.
Okay.
It's coming up.
But thank you, thank you. I mean, yeah.
Cece. And we're
Okay.
like, look at us. We're in our cash, like
No, I mean,
makeup,
I
nothing.
actually put this on for the show,
Aw.
but I'm going up the mountain with the doggy.
Oh yay!
Are we? Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
we have
So
time.
after
Yeah, yeah.
music. Okay. Thank you for watching and listening.